What's up, everybody? This is Zack, Zacky, creator of Jelly Radio and many more podcasts and a website, Zack.coffee, that's ZSCK.CFFE. This is Coffee with Zack in English, so we're going to drink some coffee. I am the founder, CEO, hence senior project manager of Zack Technology LLC, Zack Technology LLC, where I'm a super intelligence SME, that's subject matter expert. I focus on technology, world affairs, affaires étrangères, and electronic music. We talk about mental health, emotional support, and music therapy. Right now, we're going to discuss Monday. This is for Monday, December 8th, 2025. And the first thing I wrote was an article on Medium, The Great Automotive World War, How One Man's Next Car Purchase Sparked a Global Crisis. This is by on Medium. So basically, I wrote an article saying that it's becoming very aggravating that I've become kind of a celebrity by coincidence, and all I wanted to do was just gather a lot of experience so I could buy myself my first new car. I wanted to buy a new car, um, and unfortunately, there's been some kind of a ordeal where everybody, all these used car salesmen, are just betting amongst one and others as to who was going to get to win this, which brand was going to get to win. And for me, it's putting me in a bad place because I don't care about any of them. I just want to have a new car, whether it is a new Mercedes Benz, a new Audi, a new Porsche, a new BMW, or another Volkswagen like an Arteon or a Nissan Maxima, or even a GTR. That would be great. But I just want a new car, and those guys are going at it, fighting to the death almost, and it's making my life very difficult. I would even take a Jaguar XF right now. I know it's got bad reviews, but I'm sure if I were to drive one and help them with the operating system, with their software, I'm sure it would get better. Jaguar and Land Rover would get better in time. So check out the article. It's on my website for Monday, Lundi, and I wrote it on Medium. So be sure to read the article. Um, Second article up next is Ukraine. Ukraine Energo Atom Tech International and the U.S. retreat from fighting corruption abroad. It's by the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. So I basically mentioned that billions of dollars are spent on Ukraine, but you cannot allocate 180,000 to give me a new car vehicle to make my life easier and write intelligence report for diplomats, and now a new corruption scandal. I'm sick of all you guys corruption antics. Give me a new car, damn it, or cut all funding to Ukraine. You guys are essentially performing Wag the Dog. Wag the Dog, if you're not familiar, Wag the Dog was a movie, I think in the 90s, where there was a sex scandal between the president and so they basically did a fake war in Albania. I think at the time it was like something similar, and then they they just were doing that to make sure he would win this re-election campaign. And this is a little bit what happened with Trump, where there was a lot of commotion, and then people thought that Kamala Harris, because she's a woman, she wouldn't know how to handle war, and that's how she lost, because she was a woman. Even though she knew full well she was full of experience, she was a vice president, she would have been an excellent candidate as president of the United States. So it was really problematic. Up next, Gaza, la réouverture à sens unique du passage de Rafah par Israël dans des négociations du plan de la paix. C'est by West France, Gaza ceasefire. So this is very important newspaper. This is newspaper in Bretagne, in Brittany, and a very important newspaper. That's where I grew up in France, in Rennes. Check it out. Up next, The World Ahead 2026 Future Gazing Analysis, Predictions and Speculations by The Economist. This is very important coverage. Be sure to read that article, everything about that website if you are a member of The Economist. Up next, by 1843 magazine, The World's Most Audacious Railway Project. This is by 1843 magazine. By the way, I'm sorry if my nose is nasally. I have a cold, but hopefully I'll get better soon. Up next, the Weekend Intelligence, Global News, Operation Midas, the scandal striking the heart of Ukraine power. This is by the Economist podcast. This talks about the corruption in Ukraine and how I found the corruption had to do something with Ukraine. Between the word Ukraine, there's the UK, England, a daughter of someone named Rain, that's either Russian or Ukrainian, and ecstasy. So they were basically just doing a catch-22. They were just always flying, always doing this, always this and that, and it was just like just a big scandal for, and Interpol was still trying to find where all those pill mills were located, and it was a very big issue. And the only way to calm down the process was to make the pills legal, but that's another fiasco. And they were trying to get it done only for people that are over 21, and it's still a big problem in the United Kingdom. Up next, I have something expert analysis at the intersection of economics and politics. This is from the EIU, so be sure to check it out. Up next, how to build your influence, HBR special issue. It's by Harvard Business Review. I'm an influencer, so if you want to mail me a copy, let me know. If you work at the Harvard Business Review, send me a copy. I'll gladly read it and give you a review about it. Thanks. Up next, deadly attack on kindergarten report in Sudan. This is by the BBC. Very sad news. Up next, Thanksgiving deal-making sprint helped Netflix win Warner Brothers. This is by Bloomberg. We're very excited about the Justice League release the Snyderverse coming to Netflix. I hope it happens. Up next, as Christmas lights return to Bethlehem, Palestinians look for hope. This is by Reuters. We pray for peace over there. That the ceasefire in Gaza is respected. As Gaza ceasefire deal at a critical moment, mediator Qatar says. This by Al Jazeera News. Are we getting stupider? Stupidity is eternal and more complex than we think. The New Yorker 100. Then I mentioned that a lot of people got brain damage because they never got vaccinated from the COVID-19 virus. Don't forget my hashtag vaccine saves lives. So be sure you get vaccinated and boosted from the COVID-19 virus, so that if you're vaccinated, you'll be protected. Up next, immigration courts throws into chaos as Trump administration purged dozens of judges by politicos. This is very scary stuff. Up next, Afghanistan dropped from new U.S. national security strategies by Afghanistan International. This is very unfortunate and a terrible mistake. Remember when Afghanistan was not taken seriously in the 90s, and then the Taliban took over, and then there was a big amount of terrorism. This could reignite. The same thing could happen again. Afghanistan can be overlooked in the Middle East, and then it could start a whole bunch of terrorism in the region. So it's a very disconcerting. Up next, welcome to the big leads, Netflix and The Verge. Up next, the race to stop octopus farming before it starts is by Vox. Up next, Waymo to issue software recall over how robotaxis behave around school buses by TechCrunch. Up next, how aging clocks can help us understand why we age and if we can reverse it. This is by MIT Technology Review. Up next, how being hot is now a job requirement. This is by Business Insider. And then I said we're going to go through every HR firm and fire everybody who hires based on hotness. It's discrimination. Big tech and startups are not a place where you hire porn stars. This is just a place where you hire workers. And you hire workers based on their merits, based on their experience, and based on what they can do. You do not hire them on their hotness. It's against the law. It's discrimination. There can be lawsuits. This can be class action lawsuits and everything. I want to make sure I get hired because I know how to do the job and don't get discriminated just because I have big ears or something. This is ridiculous. Up next, join us in celebrating our ally Finland on their Independence Day. This is We Are NATO, LinkedIn, so NATO autant. Up next, Pete Hegseth, pressure grows on reckless excess as twin scandals engulf Pentagon chief defense secretary defined by allegations of war crimes and blistering watchdog report increase calls for him to go. This by The Guardian. Up next, Your Guide to Paris is by New York Times. Up next, Trump's bruised hands is looking pretty swollen. It's by the Huffington Post. Up next, the madman streaming debacles of strange cautionary tales by The Atlantic. Up next, SCOTUS takes up Trump birthright citizenship cases by 538. Up next, winter is coming. National Weather Service offices are not ready. It's by Washington Post. Up next, Notre Dame de Paris triumphs highlights the church uncharitable position in refuting to charge tourists. It's by Le Monde. What would ethical age verification looks like online? It's by Mashable. Up next, how Americans are losing whole days to their own screens is by Vice. Up next, 2025 year in reviews by National Geographic. Up next, National Parks free calendar drops MLK Day, Juneteenth, and adds Trump's birthdays by NPR. So it's very dangerous, very dangerous. Up next, there's power in public moment. The Sacramento Lorax case for showing up. This is by Cap Radio News. Up next, les étranges contorsions de l'économie chinoise, le monde diplomatique. Up next, when the democratic recession comes home. This is by Foreign Policy. Up next, the end of the Israel exception, a new paradigm for American policies by Foreign Affairs. And I mentioned that a respected Gaza ceasefire is necessary for the security of the region. This diplomacy is very important. Next, get a little bit of apple juice here. Japan's grim demographic reality. Can an anti-immigration turn really be compatible with a Japanese-backed narrative? This is by The Diplomat. Up next, I really like this article. Want a security clearance? Stop smoking weed and read this by Safra Brief. Up next, Spotlight. Africa, China, and Russia. Chinese drone maker emerges as cover supplier to Russia, Libya, and Sahel. Juntas. This is by Intelligence Online French. Very dangerous stuff. Up next, the polyglot neuroscientist resolving how the brain parses language. This is by Quantum Magazine. Up next, le mois dernier, des enseignants français se sont rendus au CERN pour découvrir les dernières avancées en physique des particules dans un environnement de recherche dynamique, organisé en partenariat avec le CNRS et IN2P3 Nucléaire et Particules Sciences École. This is by CERN in French. Up next, Space Station change of command, coverage of International Space Station Expeditions 74, change of command ceremony by NASA. Up next, 93rd Interpol General Assemblies by Interpol. Up next, Homeland Secretary lost securing the Arctic flanks by Air and Space Force magazine. Up next, first look, behold the whole new Toyota GR GTV8 hybrid power supercars by Motor Trend. This car looks amazing. Then I say, what's up, everybody? It's Monday, December 8th, and the major content curation day, and where this will be a vlog in English. So there it is. I've made it. I am wearing my Bleach hoodie. As you know, we're playing Bleach recently. There's Bleach Brave of Souls, which is the original game that was on the PS4. And then we're also playing Bleach Rebirth of Souls, which is on PS5, which tells the whole story of Bleach as well. Now, I don't have the DLCs for it, so I hope to get the DLCs eventually. So we discuss the latest story, which is 1,000 Year Blood War. But for right now, we'll just tell the main storyline and the characters, and eventually we'll get to find the Aron cars. It's going to be very awesome. Really tired of the war in Ukraine. I've basically given my ultimatum. I just realized that everybody seems to cry and shed tears for whenever there's an attack and there's like 4 or 5 dead Ukrainians during an attack, but no one seems to shed any tears for more than 70,000 Gaza Palestinians who lost their lives, and it's really, really sad. And just the other day, they mentioned that there was over 150,000 Sudanese people that were missing, probably presumed dead, and that's another very sad turn of ordeals. So please remember that it's not just white people that are in conflict that matter. It's also Black Lives Matters and Brown Lives Matter. It's very important in BLM. So please turn on your television. Don't just turn on to the BBC. Please watch France 24, France Info, and Al Jazeera News. All right, guys. It's almost Christmas break. I want you guys to push through. You can do it if you're in high school or if you're in college, university. keep working hard, and eventually you'll be on school break for a couple of for a little bit of time between Christmas and New Year's. So keep working hard. You'll survive. You'll get at it. Um, excuse me. Drinking some water, but it is very cold over here. Very cold in California, and the cold front has made its way. Um, I've been playing some more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Rebirth was your second one in the trilogy, and that's a great game, great game. And they've just announced it looks like Final Fantasy VII, the third installment, will be almost completed, and then they'll announce the name of it and a release date and everything. And I can't wait for them to eventually announce Final Fantasy 17. As you know, Final Fantasy 17 will be very important for me. Hopefully, they can tell some of my stories. As you know, I've been waiting for someone to show up to get a cup of coffee after 17 years, and then they didn't show up. I was very, very sad. I tried to go into like Batman mode because I was very upset. Anyway, guys, it's been 10 years since my new car. I'm trying to get a new car. Please help me out. If you work for a company, a brand name, you want to become a sponsor, please contact me. Uh, Send me an email, send me a DM on Twitter, on Instagram, on my website, and get a hold of me. Let's work together. I'd love to mention your product. I already use some of your products. I use a MacBook Pro. I use a Lenovo Legion. I use a Lenovo IdeaPad for my Linux. Um, you know, I'm eager to share your products with the world. I have a PlayStation. I'm a very avid gamer, and yeah, guys, let's work together. And if I have gears from you guys, maybe I can have a whole setup in my bedroom, put LED lights everywhere. I could have a full setup so I can live stream to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time, which would be awesome, and save all the videos and things like that. Right now, I don't tweet. Right now, I don't live stream to Twitch because the video will disappear after 2 weeks, and I want to have the special recorder so I can save the videos as a backup. Because if I finish a game in its entirety, I don't want it to disappear from the cloud after just 2 weeks. It would not be fun. Okay. As always, a big shout out to Aaron Burnett at CNN. A big shout out to Anderson Cooper at CNN. A big shout out to um, she's gonna be so upset I forgot her name. Christian Amonpour. Christian Amonpour has done wonderful work on as a foreign news correspondent, and I'm glad that she has her new podcast with her ex-husband or something like that. It's pretty funny. It's pretty great. But they focus on talking about everything that's going on in the Middle East, which is very important. All right, let's hope I get rid of this cold as soon as possible. And yeah, guys, I'm watching a couple TV series on Netflix and on other streaming platform. They're pretty good. And if you're wondering what I'm watching, you can always send me a text message or a DM, and I'll let you guys know what I'm watching. Okay? Have a good one, guys. Please like and subscribe. I really want to thank my 49th subscriber on YouTube. Really means a lot. Just need one more subscriber, then I have 50 subscribers on YouTube. And then after that, we go towards 51st subscribers, and then on our pathway towards 100 subscribers. Let's get that done. As always, big shout out to all the former presidents, Bill Gates, um, um, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Joe Biden. A big shout out to all their vice presidents, especially Kamala Harris. Big shout out to Al Gore. Big shout out to Kamala Harris because um, Kamala Harris, you were supposed to do this job, and Trump doesn't know what he's doing. So please keep working hard, work with fellow Democrats, and prepare to work in conjunction with whoever the nominee is going to be in 2028. But we have a long journey until then. We have to make sure in 2026 that the midterms we won, that we win the midterms overwhelmingly with um, the House of Representatives and the Senate. We have to win overwhelmingly because if we win overwhelmingly, then we can even issue terms of impeachment for President Trump for a third time, and maybe that can go through. We do not want, America might go into recession, might go into deep depression. It's been over 1 million um, people have lost their jobs in the past year. In 2025, a million people lost their jobs. People like me have been working tirelessly and very hard to get a job, and it's been 7 or 8 years that uh, that I've been unable to find work. It's been very difficult for me. I was during during the Bill Clinton era. I was too young. I was a kid. During the Obama era, I was working. I was in college, university. During the Bush era, I was working. I was in college. During the Biden era, I was working temporarily. I was working, but during the Trump era, I almost never got paid. This is racism. This is blatant racism. If I was white, I would get a salary. So please, let's work together. If you're a young Democrat, go to California Young Dems. Go to attend their meetings. They do great, wonderful work. If you're older, go to the Democrats, California Democrats. They have great attendance and great meetings. As for myself, you can find me at a coffee shop or at a bubble tea shop. I go to a coffee shop called Temple Coffee, and then I go to a bubble tea shop called Moo-Moo's. Um, I might start attending more Barnes and Nobles as a place to study because apparently there's more French Americans that attend those places because the train travels to that destination to Folsom. Because apparently the French community doesn't have a car, and they displace themselves between the train and then maybe an Uber or something. So yes, if you're a French American, you want to get together, you want to study together, or if you're a woman of the opposite, if you're the opposite sex, if you're a woman and you're looking for someone to date, I'm looking to date a French American woman. Um, I'm divorced. I've been divorced for about almost 5 months, but I was separated for a year before that. So let me know. Um, anyway, guys, let's work together. Let's. If you're looking for a project manager, let me know. I'm a project manager. I have a certificate from Folsom City College. I have a Bachelor's of Arts, BA from The Ohio State University in Economics. Let's work together. Let's work in unison and let's get something done. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and see you on the interwebs. See you on the PlayStation. Everything's on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/IamZeki /IAMZeki. Find me on Twitter at SuperFrenchBigZ. That's Super French Big Z. Find me on Instagram at IamZeki IamZeki. The latest Jellag Radio is Jellag Radio 4233. The latest Omega Radio is Omega Radio 1413 and 1414. One has the new Jules album. One has the new um, Kerry James album. And as far as the new Jellag Radio, if you're wondering why it's so good, it's because it's my Spotify Wraps. It's my Spotify Wraps for 2025 for Jellag Radio 4233. And we're gonna stay there because a lot of people are lying to me and saying, "Oh, your podcasts are not important. They're not important." Okay, so they're stalling. I'm gonna stall as well, and we're gonna stay to this podcast for a long period of time until I get a new car. So let's see what can happen. Just the other day there was an earthquake. Who knows? There's a volcano that erupted. I didn't ask for much. I just asked for a car, one single car. And there are going to be more scandals that pop out on a daily basis. Now I just shared with you guys, there's $100 million scandal in Ukraine. $100 million. Those guys were stealing money. $100 million. And meanwhile, all I asked was for 250K so I can have a new car, an apartment, a gas card, a coffee card, and travel between here and San Francisco to attend meetings at La French Tech SF and write reports for diplomats, for State Department, and for Quai d'Orsay, France Depot. So, work with me where I'll work with you. If I prefer croissants, I'll eat croissants, the croissants, and I'll also eat some bagels. I'll eat some bagels as well. But we got to work together here. You can't make me work for free forever. This is extortion, and extortion is against the law. I already contacted Interpol. I said people are taking advantage of my startup, Zack Technology LLC, and I've made a complaint and I sent it to Interpol. So every time you take advantage of Zack Technology LLC, there's a report sent to Interpol. So right now, Zacky specifically said, I'm working very, very hard, and all I ask is a new car. I need a new car with a good satellite navigation so I can change my podcasts to listen to, and a good GPS so I can look where I'm traveling to whenever I travel from here to downtown Sacramento, from here to Roseville, from here to Folsom, from here to San Francisco, from here to LA if I want to go visit my brothers and attend France rugby games once a year. So work with me, I'll work with you guys. As always, big shout out to Kevin Rose and Alex Arbrecht from Dignation. I watched your 2 new episodes, Dignation 22 and 23. I put them in my earbud. Thank you for making them available on audio. So I was able to put them on audio, and at the same time, I was able to work at the same time. So I was able to multitask. It really meant a lot. Tim Ferriss, thank you for your kind work, and I'll try to put your work, display your work again. And I know you have a new podcast with Kevin Rose. So I'll be sure to listen to it. Keep up the good work, guys. All right, guys. Peace in the Middle East. And until next time, guys. Bye-bye.